Hi guys, for today, first part of a series of videos about this very particular item. Guys, we have here a laser rangefinder from a Jaguar combat aircraft. It is located in the nose of the aircraft, the chisel-shaped nose of the aircraft. And it must be a rangefinder for targeting weapons, probably. So a bit of background story about this item. I got this from eBay, from a seller who had several of them. It was not very expensive, it was 20 or 30 euros, something like this. But I had some drama about the delivery, because in fact the parcel got exploded at the post office processing center because of the weight of the item. It was not padded in the box, and probably the box was dropped from a conveyor belt, and it was completely a mess. So the staff had to remake a parcel for me around the thing, and it took at least 1 month. But finally I got it, and it is a quite nice item. So here is what it looks like on the side. As you can see, we have a front part here which contains optics, and this main cylinder part at the back containing the laser, of course, and probably receiver and processing electronics. We have on the front, as you can see, two lamps, a big one and a smaller one in the middle. But in fact they are just windows, and the lenses are located behind it. Here is what it looked like on the side. So this wire harness here is specifically to connect the front part. In fact, we have a set of optics, motorized optics, and they are lamps mounted with at an angle. So I guess by moving the lens you can direct the beam as you want. So these are two servo motors driving two parts of optics. Here is the main unit. It is very strong, and here is what we have at the back. So now we will have a close-up at everything. And then I guess first we will have a look inside this part, because it is the easier one to open. Then I will separate this part with these Allen screws in order to have a better look. Then we will open this part, and it will be probably a few videos about the inside, because there are quite a lot of stuff in it. So for now we will zoom in. So first here is the zoom of the front glass. As you can see, we have two windows, but this one is just mounted at a slight angle over the other one. And by the way, we have thorium optics in this. Not very aggressive, but definitely we have radioactive optics. If I put my master one, if I remember correctly, thorium is mostly alpha emitter, so as this is only for gamma, it will not pick up everything. And there is quite a lot of metal around it for now on the glass, so I will not keep it open a long time when it will be opened. Yes, it is a 70 microsievert for now, so it is totally safe. Okay, So on the side here we have the wires going inside the front part, but sadly there are no connectors here, they are pass-through. In fact, going to this part, but we cannot disconnect. So it will be quite a mess because I will have to deal with this wire harness. About this harness, it seems it was repaired here. We have some Teflon around the thing. And about this cable zip ties, they are quite special because they are double locking zip ties. As you can see, once you flip this part like so, it is supposed to lock another time here. So I do not know if they are it came with these zip ties, so probably they are from the workshop who removed the thing. For now I will undo them like so. As you can see, not really a problem. Here is the other one. So it is a perfect use for my special V-shape stands I made to work on cylindrical things. It is really the use for it. One last bit and okay, and no good yet. Okay, so it is good. We will have a look on this. So sorry, it is sideways. It says STTA. It is a French name for aircraft equipment service, I guess. Model number is QLAX-1A. There is a NATO number here. 5895-14-0417-970. Date code of 1974. 3-digit serial number, which I will keep for me. Made by Thomson CSF. Oh, you have a very clear view here of the serial number. So anyway, so there is another plate here. Says type TAV38 and serial number is 231. So quite a low serial number. Now if I flip it this way, it is interesting. So we have a view at the back side. I will zoom. Okay, so as you can see, we have first here it is a grounding connector, grounding screw. Here a multi-pin connector for low voltage power supply and signal output probably. Here obviously we have a high voltage connector. And here we have what seems to be a port for either filling gas or vacuuming something. If I unscrew this brass cover, it is very, very tight. But it seems it is inlet for connecting a hose and putting some fluid in it. Not sure, maybe we will find out when taking this thing apart. And this is a total mystery. It seems it is a mechanical connector. As you can see, there is a ball bearing with a ball joint in it. So quite an unusual ball bearing first. In fact, the inner ring of a ball bearing is a ball joint. And I cannot see, maybe there is a shaft broken in it, or there is a key for putting a shaft. And it is supposed to accommodate something mechanical. Not sure. It is mounted in this thing. As you can see on the side, we have brass rings with kind of screws for tightening. So about this back ring here for opening the main drum, it is a threaded ring. So it is loose now, but for loosening it, what I had to do, I took one little bit of metal pin, random thing I had laying around. I did put this like so, and keeping in place with a pair of pliers and tapping gently, it did come loose. But it will be for a later part of the video. Okay, here this connector seems quite the wire harness has some damage. It is written here power supply and nothing else here. You can see where the wire splits in two. There is this nice sleeve around the cables, rubber sleeve to unify them. And it seems here we have EV shielding. As you can see, we can guess the shielding across the insulating. Maybe here, yes, as you can see, the mesh. Probably tinned copper here. Okay, so now in the next part of the video I will open this front part and we will have a look at it.